welcome back to Shem's Universe. So today, guys, we're going to discuss birth number 7 and how it relates to the other birth numbers and also career occupations, pros and cons. We're going to go through the whole list. All right, so to start off, birth number 7 is made by Neptune or Kietu, depending on which depiction you choose to use. I choose Kietu. It's the southern node of the moon. It's the polar opposite of Rahu, which is the northern node. So with birth number 7, guys, you get somebody who's very isolated, very secretive, could be deceptive as well, and extremely observant. So you're looking at the mind of a scientist here, somebody who can invent things, somebody who can act and behave in different ways. Number 7 is a very dark number. It's a spiritual number. It's almost considered to be like outside of our universe. It's not even a full planet. So the people that are born specifically on number 7 and just have that influence alone of any month, they're gonna like really have a lot of those traits. You'll tend to not really know them, even if they're your friend or a sibling. I have a birth number of 7, but it's 25, not quite 7, so I'm a lot more extroverted than what the number 7s typically are. So I'm more of like a voice of like the number 7, whereas the number 7 by itself doesn't care for the voice. It just wants to invent, take action, do hands-on things more so, whereas I'm more verbose. But we'll get into that when I get to 25. As for the number 7, though, the 7 does have a lot of special characteristics when it comes to even relationships. They can be some of the best ideal partners, whether they're a man or a woman. For men, though, I recommend being more open with females just because we tend not to like let out our emotions when we have number 7 there. And it ends up just being something like a isolation and very reserved, and it makes the partner feel kind of left out of what's going on in your mental acumen. For females, definitely try to be more emotional. Number 7 can just make people seem aloof and cold and kind of detached. So you just want to make sure that you are still showing your partner that you do care and that you do have that feminine side to you. All right. The planetary influence itself is considered like neutral in gender, like meaning like it doesn't really have man or woman traits. It's more so just a very detached number, and it makes it very hard for these people to get financial freedom or any freedom actually at all, because when you have a high mental acumen like that and you're always thinking and always observing and always experimenting, you end up becoming somebody that can have over anxiety or just be very, very stressed all the time. So if you end up falling in one of these categories, what you want to do is practice things like I'd recommend Zen Buddhism, like mindfulness, meditation. Try to practice these things, maybe even writing down what you're grateful for each morning, just because the 7 can lead you down a path of depression if you allow it to. So you just want to make sure you come out of that and try to look at the positive side of life. For the money aspect, you can make a lot of money if you're a number 7. Just because you're very water in nature in that sense, just like similar to Neptune. You can adapt to any situation. So you can find number 7s in the sales, like I said, science for sure, social reform, politics. Like Putin's like a 7-7. He's like birth number 7 and life path 7. What did he do? He was a KGB operative, meaning he was somebody who was a spy, and he would observe things. So that backs up my claim completely. You have that ability. Am I saying go be prime minister of Russia? No. But what I am saying is you have the ability to really reach the top echelon of society if you choose to do so. I notice a lot of numerologists try to say that the number 7 cannot do those things. Like they try to make it seem like number 7 is very not for finances and should just go to live in a monastery or something, just be spiritual. And that's 100% not true. Number 7s have a lot of abilities to do martial arts, a lot of athletic sports, and most importantly, philosophy and science. These are things where you're going to have good luck and you're going to excel. Am I saying you cannot do anything else? Definitely not. You could do arts, you can do whatever. Because of your detailed mind, the 7 is the mind of a specialist, the scientist. Meaning when you want to learn something, you're going to specialize in that topic. You're not just going to jump around, especially if you have specifically just the number 7 as your birth number. You're going to really, really look into things and say, okay, how does this work? Take it apart, put it back together, take it apart again, and dismantle it, put it back together a different way. That's how you guys operate. That's how I operate, and I know that's definitely how 7s themselves operate, because I have friends that are like that, and they master every topic. Like if they're on one thing, they'll have a singular mind until they master it, and then they'll move on to the next thing. So very different from like a number 5 that'll jump from one thing to the next, or a number 4 that just wants to be a knowledge regurgitator. They just want to absorb everything. Okay? So if you guys have any questions about the 7 at all, please just let me know. I try to talk about like the relationship aspect with sevens just because that's considered a problem, and the money thing, I want to definitely get that myth out of the way. But if you guys have any other questions about it at all, please let me know. Just leave it in the comments for me. Aside from that, like, subscribe, holla, and you'll be back.